She then shared the video online.
Police say 23-year-old Olivia Henderson claimed she was sexually assaulted during the incident, but they say that never happened.
A DoorDash driver showing a naked customer accusing him of harassment, but getting arrested herself.
23-year-old Olivia Henderson charged with disseminating unlawful surveillance. The court deciding that her trial will go to the grand jury.
6 months ago, a DoorDash driver in upstate New York pulled out her phone, filmed a half-naked man passed out on his couch in his own home, and tried to convince millions of people that she was the victim.
I'm the victim! Remember? I'm the victim!
This week, a grand jury made it official that she's the criminal. If you've been anywhere near TikTok since last October, you already know her face. Olivia Henderson is 23 years old, from Oswego, New York. She built an entire fake sympathy arc off one delivery, and she spent weeks cashing in on content that never should have existed in the first place. The grand jury has now come back. 2 felony charges are confirmed, and she's looking at up to 8 years in prison. Let's walk through how Olivia dug her own hole. October 12th, 2025, a Sunday evening. Olivia accepts a Wendy's order for a guy named Austin on East Bridge Street. He selected leave at door, which is about the least complicated delivery instruction you can give. When she arrived, Austin was passed out drunk on his couch, partially undressed, with his front door hanging open. Any decent person in that situation backs away, drops the bag, maybe calls someone for a welfare check, and gets on with their day. Olivia pulled out her phone and started filming a stranger in his own home. Then she uploaded the whole thing to TikTok. His body was in the shot, his couch was in the shot, and in the original upload, his house number was visible behind him. She basically published this man's home address to millions of strangers, which is unhinged behavior by any measure. The first video rocketed to nearly 30 million views before TikTok pulled it down. She reposted a censored version, and that one got removed too. Somewhere in all of this, she also filed a police report claiming she'd been sexually assaulted during the delivery.
But after so many people told me to report it to the police, I did. And I called the non-emergency line, and they sent a police officer over to speak to me in person and watch the video that I have.
Which was an insane claim to make, honestly. That was her entire performance for 2 solid weeks. Olivia turned the whole incident into a full-blown grift. Her story time videos racked up hundreds of thousands of likes each, and one DoorDash Fired Me video cleared 3.1 million likes in 5 days.
They just fired me! And the police are doing nothing! I lost my job!
She was everywhere on the For You page, milking the performance for everything it was worth. Her framing stayed consistent the entire time, with her painting herself as the real victim in every upload. Meanwhile, the man who'd been unconscious in his own home, who had no clue he was being filmed, and who cooperated with police immediately, was somehow the villain of her story. The whole thing was a masterclass in flipping reality upside down for clout. Here's the moment that's probably going to haunt her in court, though. In one of her own videos, she said this on camera. She was openly whining that TikTok was no longer going to pay her for footage of an unconscious half-naked man.
And they took down my video. They were gonna have to pay me for my second story time because that was over a minute long. They were gonna have to pay me for all those views I got. So no, they took that right down.
That's the mask slipping in real time, and we'll come back to why that sentence matters so much in a minute. DoorDash moved quickly. On October 16th, they deactivated her account and put out a statement explaining their reasoning, which was that she'd posted a video of a customer inside his own home and leaked his personal details to the entire internet. That was the violation, full stop. A few weeks later, the Oswego Police Department wrapped up their investigation and said plainly that no sexual assault had occurred. According to the department, the man was inside his house, had no idea anyone was filming him, and was, quote, mortified. So not only did Olivia violate this guy's privacy for views, she then falsely accused him of a serious crime to cover her tracks. November 10th, 2025, Olivia got arrested by Oswego City Police on 2 felony charges: unlawful surveillance in the 2nd degree and dissemination of an unlawful surveillance image in the 1st degree. And honestly, she earned every count. She showed up to her arraignment on December 4th with her dad walking behind her, holding a jacket over her face to block the cameras. Her public defender stood up and asked the judge to bar cameras from the courtroom entirely. The irony is almost too perfect. Judge Timothy Kerwin looked at her, and he said this, because the judge had basically summed up what everyone watching had been thinking since October. She pleaded not guilty, which tells you she still doesn't get it. Around January, something quiet happened with the case when it disappeared from the city court docket. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so I'll let one explain what actually happened behind the scenes.
She was finally indicted by a grand jury that's just citizens that are drafted out to do the indictment instead of the district attorney. There's kind of those two different methods of bringing an indictment on two felonies, one of unlawful surveillance and another of distribution of the unlawful surveillance image.
So a grand jury looked at everything, agreed there was enough to charge her, and sent both felonies forward untouched. The prosecution is clearly coming in heavy on this one. Here's where it gets uglier for Olivia, though, because most of the coverage online has focused on that 8-year prison headline. But according to Legal Mindset, the criminal case might actually be the smaller part of her problems.
Because this is her first-time offense for the criminal charges. Those will probably be light. As much as everyone wants to say this might be 8 years in prison, etc., it won't be. This will probably be a slap on the wrist at best with probation or a split sentence. When we turn over to the massive liability, we look at New York Civil Rights Law Section 52B. This is for allowing a private right of action for non-consensual dissemination of intimate images. Now, this statute is not just for stuff posted online. It's not just for ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends. It's really for any sort of image that is being posted without somebody's consent. And it covers directly on point secret recording like this.
Fits her situation like a glove. And the damages under this law are where her life genuinely falls apart.
If this man brings a civil lawsuit using this law, and we're just talking about this one law, they could potentially recover $500,000 in compensatory damages and up to $2 million in punitive damages.
Her next court appearance is May 1st, 2026 in Oswego County Court. That's the first hearing after the indictment, where her lawyer will likely file motions to dismiss or suppress evidence, and where real plea negotiations usually start happening on the record. If the case actually goes to trial, we're probably looking at late 2026 or early 2027. Now looking at the online reaction, the overwhelming majority of people saw through this from day one. TikTokers, lawyers, commentators, journalists, and regular viewers across every platform landed on the same conclusion, which is that what Olivia did was wrong, creepy, and criminal. The few voices who tried to defend her usually leaned on some version of the gender flip argument or claimed she was being unfairly punished as a working-class woman, but those takes completely ignored the fact that she filmed an unconscious man, posted his address, and fabricated a sexual assault claim to cover for it. There's no coherent way to defend any of that. And frankly, anyone still trying to spin her as a sympathetic figure is either not paying attention or arguing in bad faith. The guy she filmed did absolutely nothing wrong. He ordered food, passed out in his own home, and woke up to discover a stranger had broadcast his worst moment to millions of people while falsely accusing him of a crime he never committed. That he's handled the whole thing with dignity and silence while she was out there performing for the algorithm says everything about who the actual victim is. The felony indictment is a start, and the civil lawsuit waiting in the wings might be the part that truly changes her life. Olivia chose every step of this path, from the filming to the posting, to the lying, to the content series she built on top of it all. Whatever comes next, she earned it.